Easy go.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Make a Whoosh Kid bringing you my second video tutorial of the week, and today we're going to be working on Ra. And the reason I wanted to bring you guys this video tutorial is because I feel like a lot of people don't know how to build him right. And the way to build him is basically a lot of damage. Now you might be thinking, oh, he's a healer, but the heals are really to sustain just you. I mean, yeah, you can use it on your teammates, but with Ra's speed passive ability, you can really pop those heals off very quickly. So I'm not going to go into that right now. We're just going to dive right into the tutorial here with our first item. Now, the first item you're going to want to look at is called Book of Thoth. Now, Book of Thoth, it looks like this, and the reason I get this right away is because it's a stacking item. You need to build 70 stacks to get this item to evolve, and when it evolves, it converts 10% of your your mana into magical power. Now, when you think about it, every single mage that you play as, you're going to need to build a decent amount of items that give you mana, because without mana, you won't be able to pop your abilities, and then you're just not going to have a good time. So that's why I like to get this right away, get it evolved, get that mana boost there, and yeah, not much more to it than that. I'll show you some combos that I have with this item later on in the video, but for now, let's get into the next item. Next item you're going to want to look at is your boots. Now, the boots I usually like to get are Shoes of Focus, and I like to get these for most of my mages, not all of them. Sometimes I'll go with Shoes of the Magi if I want to deal more damage, but the reason Shoes of Focus are really nice for a god with a healing ability like Ra is because it gives you that cooldown reduction on top of some magical power, and of course 250 mana, which is really going to help your Book of Thoth mana conversion to magical power. Sorry, that was a lot, but all in all, just a great boot to have for mages. Get those abilities popping off really quick, help your teammates with the heals, and yeah, that's about it for that. So we'll hop into the next item here, which is Soul Reaver. Now, Soul Reaver looks like this, and as you can see, Book of Thoth is upgraded. So any mana that I'm getting from this item converts to magical power just because of Book of Thoth. And this item happens to give me 300 mana. So as you can see at level 13, I just did 1000 damage to Vulcan, which is kind of insane for my X ability. Yeah, you could see that with an alt with a mage, but for an X ability that recharges every 7 seconds, that's pretty scary when you think about it. So definitely want to look into this item. Great item to have for Ra. And yeah, we'll hop into the next couple items here. Next couple items, I have 2 of them for the 4th item, basically because it changes game by game. If I'm playing a game where I'm facing some really squishy gods but they deal a lot of damage, I like to go with Breastplate of Valor. The reason for that is it gives you that 65 physical protection, and on top of that it also gives you another 20% cooldown reduction. So it's a great item to have if you're really having a hard time staying alive, honestly. Get those abilities popping off, get the heals going pretty quickly. So yeah. Now on the flip side, if you're facing some gods that are, I'd say, pretty tanky, say facing a Chalk, or yeah, sometimes Vulcan builds tanky, I would go with Ratatouille just because it gives you 165 magical power. Doesn't really give you any mana, so it's not helping out your Book of Thoth at all, but it definitely helps with that magical power. Alrighty, going into the next item here, and that is Doom Orb. Now, I really wish I would build Doom Orb a lot earlier, just because it's so mean. I mean, it gives you 135 magical power, I think 200 mana, and 15 mana per second. Now, with Book of Thoth, that's not fair, but the only problem with this item is it's pretty expensive. I think it's like 3,200 to fully build it. I may be wrong about that, you'll have to check. But from what I remember, it's very expensive, so I'm not able to get it off as early as I want to, but that's okay. I usually use it as the 5th item. Still works out for me, so I'm sure it'll work out for you. Great item checkout. Alrighty, and the last but not least, we're gonna go with Polymorphin. Now, I'm not really sure if I pronounced that right. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like that in the top right corner there. The reason I get this item last is because it gives you that lifesteal at the end of the game that you need. Because at the end of the game, you gotta think the enemy gods are probably about the same strength as you. So they're gonna be doing a lot of damage, just like you're doing a lot of damage. So you're gonna kind of need that lifesteal to survive, or to mitigate some damage, anyway. And on top of the lifesteal, it also gives you more mana for Book of Thoth, and I think it gives you 80 magical power. So that's a great item to have as your final item. And as you can see here, having some fun with my lane. I think he's gonna go gank that, but I'm gonna switch to a full screen here so you guys can kind of see the full build in effect. But yeah, that's basically the build itself, is just building a lot of mana, helping out that Book of Thoth. Just really focus on getting as much mana as you can for Book of Thoth. A lot of people will say, no, that's a bad idea, it's only for mages that have a bleed ability, but I disagree. I think it can still help you out a lot with your alts, with your X abilities, and then you throw some cooldown reduction in there, you're able to get out those abilities a lot quicker. So, appreciate you coming to this video. If you like it, go ahead, leave a like at the bottom of the screen there, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. Thanks, guys.